My name is Adriana, and I'm going to talk about all the family characteristic, tradition, work hierarchy, Egyptian society, art, and all the things that distinguish this civilization from others, in order to let you know more about this ancient civilization. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the nuclear family that was the fundamental social unit of ancient Egypt. The family was broken down into roles that each would play in order for things to run smoothly. The father was the person who worked all day, and the mother played the role as a housewife, in charge of all the things pertaining to the house, like cooking, cleaning, washing the children, were all her responsibilities. In some larger homes, servants served as a maid and midwives to help the mothers. As a consequence of that, the father was responsible for the economic well-being of the family. Upper-class men often became scribes of priests, while lower-class men often were farmers, hunters, potters, or other craftsmen. The mother supervised the household, including servants, and cared for the upbringing of the children. Upper class women could become priestesses, and all women could become musicians or professional mourners. Children stayed at home until they reached a marriageable age. That was about 20 for males and younger for females. Although Egyptian children had toys and are occasionally depicted at play, much of their time was spent preparing for adulthood. So, in general, most ancient Egyptians were farmers tied to the land. Their dwellings were restricted to immediate family members and were constructed of mud brick designed to remain cool in the heat of the day. The ancient Egyptians placed a great value of hygiene and appearance. Most bathed in the Nile and used a pasty soap made from animal fat and chalk. Men shaved their entire bodies for cleanliness, and aromatic perfumes and ointments covered bad odors and soothed skin. Clothing was made from simple linen sheets that were bleached white, and both men and women of the upper classes wore high jewelry and cosmetics. Children went without clothing until maturity, at about age 12, and at this age males were circumcised and had their heads shaved. Mothers were responsible for take care of them, and while the father provides the family income. The stable diet was about or consist of bread and beer, supplemented with vegetables such as onions and garlic, and fruits such as dates and figs. Wine and meat were enjoyed by all of its states, while the upper class indulged on a more regular basis. Fish, meat, and fowl could be salted or dried and could be cooked in stew or roasted on a grill. Music and dance was popular entertainment for those who could afford them. The ancient Egyptians enjoyed a variety of leisure activities, including games and music. Senet, a board game where pieces move according to random change, was particularly popular from the earliest times. Another similar game was Mayhem, which had a circular gaming board. Juggling and ball games were popular with children. The healthy members of the ancient Egyptian society enjoyed hunting and boating as well. Secondly, it's important to know about Egyptian society that was organized into classes. The pharaoh was viewed and worshipped as a god. He was the absolute ruler who made laws, maintained courts, waged war, collected taxes, constructed irrigation canals and public buildings, kept writing records, and owned the land. The nobles served as advisors, local governors, tax collectors, and military commanders. The medical profession were very advanced in their knowledge of the herbal remedies and surgical techniques. Also part of the Egyptian medicine were magic, charms, and spells, which had only psychological effects, if any, on a patient. Engineers were responsible for the planning and building of the monuments, temples, pyramids of Egypt. The men who did calculation, drew up the plans, surveyed the sites, and supervised the workday were scribes. About the priests, doctors, engineers were the high priests and noblemen whom the pharaoh appointed as his assistants, generals, and administrators, who together formed the government. The slaves were the manual laborers who dug irrigation ditches and built temples, while the merchants and craft people enjoyed some wealth and comfort. The peasant and slave suffering hardship and poverty. The Egyptians were influenced by many things. Their religion, they believe, were shown in most of their paintings. Paintings had pictures of gods and goddesses doing different activities. Color portraits made prediction of the afterlife they believed in. Egyptians had several kinds of art forms. Mummies' caves or sarcophagus were built for the bodies of king or important people. They believed that the body went to an afterlife, and the sarcophagus was to be a beautiful and valuable place for the body to rest. The body was wrapped in white bandage, then it was put into its own case with a unique design. Relief art showed every kind of activity, from feasting to working, from learning to dancing. Statues were another common art from Egyptians, like making. Most were of gods, goddesses, pharaohs, and queens. The statues could be made small or large. Statues always had to be youthful figures. The painting and drawing of Egyptian people look flat and strange because they were painted in a particular way. The music get related with instruments like flutes and harps, while instruments similar to trumpets, oboes, and pipes. And the Egyptians played bells, cymbals, tambourines, drums, and imported lutes and lyres. That was basically of the cultural aspect that influence in work and customs traditions that Egyptian people has.